morning.
With the arrival of His Excellency, the Chairman Chief Executive, we'll start this program with the national and we have our seat now.
Directors here present.
It is with great pleasure that I welcome everyone to this edition of our quarterly Commands Awards and Commendations, which has become part and parcel of our corporate culture. It has always been a pragmatic way of stimulating productivity and enhancing the attainment of organizational goals. Making it a tradition for the agency is our way of enshrining meritocracy in the system. Symbolically, this ceremony of awards and commendations is a way of celebrating our modest success. And today we have cause for celebration because of our efforts, toil, sweat, and sacrifices are daily justified by spectacular results which give us a sense of fulfillment. Without necessarily blowing our trumpet, I dare say that NDLEA deserves a pat on the back. Statistics from the first quarter Q1 report indicated that our performance level has not dropped off. Indeed, achieving 3,539 arrests, 677 convictions, and seizures of 65,916 kilograms of drugs in 3 months is no mean feat. Little wonder our performance continually earns the agency deserved accolades from the right quarters, from within the country as well as from abroad, especially from international partners and peers. While we have not yet achieved the utopia of a drug-free society, the results show that we are getting it right. To the officers and men present here today, I am making this clarification that this ceremony, the awards, the recognition, the honor, the commendation is symbolic of management's appreciation of your dedication to duty. To everyone that is being recognized and honored today, I offer my congratulations. And I do hope the commendations will spur you to surpass yourselves at the next awards ceremony. It is necessary that I also draw your attention to the solemn aspect of the quarterly Command Awards. The ceremony should be a poignant reminder for us not to forget where we are coming from. And there is no better way to say it other than for us to be mindful of the saying that success has 100 fathers, but failure is always an orphan. No organization would understand this adage better than NDLEA in the light of our past rock bottom experience. Therefore, we should all be mindful that we hold the fate of NDLEA in our hands by the grace of God. And that fate will be determined by our patriotism and dedication to duty, as well as our collective resolve to work towards the attainment of the agency's mandate. Having said that, I can assure you that the NDLEA of today is still a work in progress. We are still running a race and not yet anywhere near the finishing line. But we have strong assurances that by the time we get to the pedestal we are aiming for, we will have an agency we all will be proud of. In the meantime, dear officers and men of NDLEA, bear in mind that management is working in your best interest at all times. In the weeks and months ahead, we shall be seeing tangible manifestations of the results of these strategic efforts aimed at taking the agency to an elite level. Let me also seize this occasion to remind you about the importance of propagating the war against drug abuse, WADA. The WADA program in your various commands is key to our work. There is much we can achieve when our communities are working hand in hand with us. That is why our roadmap, the National Drug Control Master Plan, NDCMP 2021 to 2025, strongly emphasizes collaboration with all the stakeholders in society. We have to woo members of society to work with us on this very important assignment. Therefore, I charge you to ensure that WADA is correctly and deeply entrenched in the spheres of operation of your respective commands. One more thing, as we conduct ourselves, we must all pay attention to the observance of human rights. Before we go fully into the business of the day, let me leave you with this thought-provoking perspective of our job. The sacrifice of a narcotic officer cannot be quantified in gold or silver, for he is fulfilling a higher calling. As we go about our duty of securing our society against the corrosion of illicit drugs, we should be aware that we are also the direct beneficiaries of our work, because for every kilogram of drugs seized, we are making our streets and society safer for our children, family, and kinsmen. NDLEA is proud of its workforce. The agency treasures the effort of its officers and men. The management shall continue to look out for your best interests. We shall continue to reward hard work and excellence. Thank you. God bless. As far as the issue of drug use or drug abuse by our youths in the urban areas are concerned, the address is actually the same everywhere. We don't single out a particular place. First, you have to go to the causal nature of drug abuse. And the main cause, in addition to all the other well-known causes, peer pressure, family issues, and so on and so forth, the core issue is poverty, joblessness. And that is one area that the president is handling through his 100 million Nigerians elevation out of poverty, which program is already ongoing over the next 10 years. And we trust that the government that comes in 2023 will continue the thrust, because every government, it's in every government's interest to fight poverty in Nigeria. So that's one. And second is serious advocacy and sensitization at all levels of stakeholders, beginning with families, the communities, the clergy, traditional institutions, it's everybody's job, the advocacy, to tell the youths, and I'm doing the advocacy now, that the abuse of drugs is bad for our health and for the society, because after you use the drugs, your brain, your behavior is all affected, your senses are affected, and you cannot behave rationally like a rational human being. So that's critical. And finally, the issue of rehabilitation. A lot of our youths they know they have this problem, they want to be treated, but there's a dearth of rehab facilities in the country. I take the opportunity to mention that all our commands have rehab facilities to a certain level. And those that exceed our work, like drug addicts, and these are 20% of the drug abusers in the country, that's 3 million. Those have to go to full rehabilitation facilities. And the government of President Muhammad Buhari is in the process of building even more. It's in our budget this year, 3 more rehab centers will be built. And recently, on a courtesy call by the FCT, Honorable FCT Minister, he proposed and we accepted that we both collaborate with the rehab center that will be built this budget year in Abuja. The issue of the Yahoo boss and so on and so forth, we have long established that there's a nexus between criminal behavior, criminals, and drug use. So there's no question about that. Yeah, killed his girlfriend and stayed for another week with a dead body and so on. Clearly nobody in his correct senses will behave that way. These are all effects of drug use. Now, politicians, we have long advocated, and I take this opportunity again to repeat the advocacy, that when you run for public office, there's a lot of demand and responsibility on the person, and we need to be certain if it's a person that is already a drug addict or drug user, where all the monies that he is given for public service is consumed on cocaine and methamphetamine, and his head will not be correct to handle the affairs that has been entrusted with. So for this reason, we have advocated and we continue to advocate that drug tests, integrity tests should be run by politicians. Some state governments, like Kano State, is already doing this. In fact, not just politicians, but government appointees. And I already have just sent off a letter this morning to the chairman of the APC. It's the first of the national working committees that I wish to pay an advocacy visit on this score, that it should be included in the screening exercise for all those who have indicated interest in running for public office. We will repeat the same to PDP and other important parties. It is the decision, and it is our work, that criminals do not enjoy the assets, whoever they may be. Most criminals are prepared to stay in jail as long as they will come back and meet the assets and enjoy them. It's for this purpose that as we prosecute criminals and those engaged in these nefarious activities, we also go after the assets. And I'm not speaking about any particular suspect. These are general mode of operation. We have a full directorate of assets and financial investigation, and that is their work. Thank you.
The director of admin has assured that enough refreshment has been provided for our this Just look for them. Go to Lucas' office.
Were you expecting this award?
Well, we worked very hard, but we were not really expecting it.
How does it feel having it?
Well, this is the fourth time I'm winning it since the general took over seat. And I don't know, I'm not a guy who feels on top of the world over things, but I feel really good that I'm part of his move to sanitize Nigeria.
To whom much is given, much is expected.
That's correct.
From here to where?
From here to something mightier. Lagos Command intend to continue winning the award, the best performer. I will target those who deal in methamphetamine that is ravaging the state. I will equally target cocaine dealers. You asked a question about the youths. Most celebrities are setting bad example for the youths. Social media is becoming an avenue where they do any nonsense they like, and then things are going out of hand. The issue of Chrisland is staring us at the face. We are targeting the family so that war against drug abuse can be spread to every nook and cranny. We must start from the family to heal Nigeria from drug abuse. And we intend to partner seriously with the press, the fourth estate of the realm, without whose intervention it will be difficult to publicize the consequences of drug abuse and drug